Hello and welcome to another day of Utah RemoteCon. For our first panel, we've got an amazing bunch of panelists set up to talk about Disney, everything we love about it, and of course, Halloween's right around the corner, so we're going to be diving into Disney Halloween. So we are very excited to have these amazing panelists. Before we get into that, though, of course, we have to talk about Utah RemoteCon and what we're doing here. So we're working on raising money for the American Cancer Society. It's a very, very near and dear charity for us as several members of the Stolen Droids family have very, very direct correlation with that. And so far, we have crossed our $2,000 mark. We're so excited. Thank you so much for your donations and helping this amazing cause. Right now, we're at $2,040. Word on the street is we are doubling raffle tickets right now. So if you purchase 30 raffle tickets, you're getting 60. Huge, amazing deal right now. So please, if you're able to log on, donate. We've got the URL just right there, givebutter.com/Utah RemoteCon 2020. So please, if you're able to donate, and let's get on with the panel. We're going to go ahead and bring on Tyler here. Tyler is from Multiplane Podcast here on the Stolen Droids Network. Hey, Tyler, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, doing great, man. So excited for this panel. You guys have phenomenal people on here. So word on the street is we even have a magician. I mean, how cool is that?
Right.
So go ahead and bring these guys in, and we'll let you go ahead and start introducing everyone.
Awesome. So let's see. We got Jake and Tracy, who are also from our Stolen Droids Network from Movies That Make Us. And we also have Paul Draper, our magician, who's going to be joining us for the show. Like, I'm super stoked.
This is really what would a Disney panel be without a little magic, right?
I'm on the site buying tickets right now.
Awesome. Well, this is a good time to do it. Get double the tickets.
Yeah, double the raffle. That's fantastic.
And then when you win at the end, we'll know how good a magician you are, Paul.
Yeah.
You'll make all our prizes disappear.
So we're also supposed to have John with us, but we'll see if he ends up coming into the panel. We might be having some technical issues or something.
Got caught up with the hitchhiking ghost.
Oh my gosh, guys. This is seriously, I'm so excited to talk about this tonight. So I guess we'll just jump right into it, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. Let's first get on your favorite Disney park treats. Now, my opinion, this is the best time to go to Disneyland or any Disney park because you have special treats, special shows, special characters that you don't get any other time of the year. And for me, it's my absolute favorite time to go. And one of the big things is the food. So do you guys have any favorite treats that you've had? Anything that you'd like to recommend that we should try once, the parks are up and rolling again?
This last year, they rolled out for the first time in California Adventure. They had a Mummy peanut butter and jelly cronut. The Mummy peanut butter and jelly cronut in California Adventure was something spectacular. Halloween is my birthday, and so I always go for Halloween to Disneyland, and that was the piece de resistance for me this last year.
Okay, hold on. So you do magic, and your birthday is on Halloween. How cool is this guy? Like, seriously.
Okay, yeah.
Harry Houdini died on Halloween night at the age of 52. 52 years later, on the exact same night I was born. So,
what?
All right, I've got goosebumps. That's it.
No way.
That is awesome.
How do we top that, Jake? We can't.
What are your favorite treats?
I mean,
Dude, that mummy thing sounds amazing.
it sounds delicious. Last year was my first time going to Disneyland at Halloween time. I was there the day before Halloween. It was incredible, amazing. And the one thing I had to make sure that I heard about this sundae that they had at the Golden Horseshoe. It was like with a churro and ice cream and caramel and dreams and wishes all like in one bowl of deliciousness. And it was amazing. And that was probably one of the most incredible things I've ever eaten at Disneyland. And that's probably my favorite. And they only had it at this time of year. It was only in the fall around Halloween. So that was probably my favorite Halloween time treat that I've had. How was that, Tracy? Did that come? I mean, it was all right.
That's a good one. That's a solid one. I have had that Sunday, and it's amazing. I also have a seasonal one that I really like, and it's the caramel apple smoothie.
Yep.
Okay, it's over in California Adventure. I'm a sucker for caramel apples, and you put it into a smoothie, and it's fantastic.
Well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
We'll see.
But I love like how they decorate the caramel apples themselves. Like they make a Maleficent caramel apple, and they make an OogieBoogie one, and a Jack Skellington one. And I love going to the candy counter and checking out all the different Halloween designs.
In California Adventure, there's a window on the right-hand side as you're coming in. That's the Jewish watchmaker Katz's window, and at his window 2 years ago, they had this piece right here that you got to put today. 39 days until Halloween right now.
Wow.
And there's
cool.
In Witch Mini right there, and you change it every day. And I saw this in the window, and I thought it was something the Imagineers just put into his window. No, you could buy it.
That's incredible.
So
that is
I have
awesome.
major envy right now.
I now have that, and every day I will change it. The countdown to Halloween.
See, and that's this year, even though the parks, well, Disney World's open, but in downtown Disney in California, the merchandise that they have is completely throwback this year. It's such cool designs, and they released a new countdown like that one, but with the new throwback Mickey and Minnie on it this year. My treat thing, and last year was the 50th anniversary of Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
So we were loaded up on extra Haunted Mansion stuff, and we'll get into it. That's my favorite thing at Disneyland. Halloween or no Halloween, I'm a mansion kid.
But how do you feel about the fact that during Halloween time, it's not Haunted Mansion, it's Nightmare Before Christmas?
And we're getting controversial already.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we were going to get into that one here.
Okay, I'll let you carry it.
But we'll get into it now. So first off, I had a coffin cake, which was it's delicious. Like so much chocolate and just one moist.
Use that word. That word people don't like.
Moist chocolate cake.
Like chocolate.
We're talking about Halloween. How do you not talk about chocolate?
Oh, you have to. You have to.
Yeah, let's talk about the Haunted Mansion and what they do. So I'm a fan of the classic, and I'm also a really, really diehard Burton kid, and that's Nightmare Before Christmas. It's my jam. Mm-hmm. So I love the entire overlay of what they do every October. And if any of you guys listening, if you have not been to Disneyland it's the second week of September, and it stays that way all the way through Christmas. Mm-hmm. They have the Nightmare Before Christmas holiday takeover at the Haunted Mansion.
First thing, if you go to Disneyland in January, the Haunted Mansion's always closed because they're taking you down.
Yeah. Unless you go the very first week.
Yeah.
They usually close it like right about the 6th or 7th, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it takes like 3 weeks, something like that, to do the overlay. It's extensive. It's not just a fly by night. And I'm with Ty. I love both versions. I grew up on the original. I was a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas when it first came out. I saw opening night because I loved the stop motion animation. I was in film school at the time. A lot of people didn't. People didn't really catch on until it came out on video. And I worked at a video store, so I got to see that as well. But I love both versions. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. And I am so bummed that when I went to Paris 2 years ago, the Haunted Mansion was closed for refurb, and I did not get to go to Phantom Manor because I've heard that is the best Haunted Mansion in any of the parks.
It's on my to-do list.
I was so bummed.
Paris ride, in order to appeal to the European market, they had to do a much more beautiful ride. Americans don't require the same level as Europeans do. They also didn't have as much land to work with, so what they built had to be the highest quality. Now, I'm going to give the dissenting opinion.
Okay.
I do not like the overlay. I want Grim Grinning Ghosts come out to socialize. I want that in my October. I don't. The last time you get to see the regular Haunted Mansion before Halloween, you have to go in August, right?
Right.
To see the real Haunted Mansion, and then you don't get to see it again until late January or early February. And so nothing like a bride that kills all her husbands by decapitation for Valentine's Day.
Sounds right. That sounds right.
I finally buckled down. Nightmare Before Christmas was not part of my childhood story, as Santa Claus doesn't bring gifts to good little Jewish boys in Utah.
Sure.
So I didn't see Nightmare Before Christmas until I was 40 years old. I saw it at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. And
I love the El Capitan.
I must admit, after seeing the movie, I liked it more. But I still miss the Haunted Mansion for Halloween.
Yeah.
So you didn't see it until a year ago.
That's right.
Yeah, I find myself torn too. So last year was the first time I had seen the Haunted Mansion overlay, and it was amazing and beautiful and spectacular and everything I wanted it to be. But I did come off the ride thinking, I'm here at Halloween. There's jack-o'-lanterns everywhere. I would also like to see the Grim Grinning Ghost coming out to socialize. I would love that, but I still really enjoy the ride. So I find myself torn. I'm of two minds on the subject. So, and I do want to point out, Colin mentions here the line for the Haunted Mansion. Man, I waited. So it is always long at Halloween.
Yep.
I mean, it is a very popular attraction with the Nightmare Before Christmas on there.
And it stays that way all the way through Christmas.
Right.
Yep.
My advice, if you're ever going to go to see that, I mean, one thing, take a look at during the nighttime when the lights, you have the candle flickers and everything going on the windows. You can stand outside the attraction and appreciate it for just the outside appeal. But if you're going to go just to get that Nightmare Before Christmas, I guess, experience, we always hit it first thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first ride every morning when we're there.
Yeah. Your best beats are either get there at the moment the gates open and run straight to it, or go
walk
during
fast.
parade, or go during fireworks, or go after the toddlers go home after fireworks, or get the fast pass first thing in the morning. You're ready to work it, but don't wait in that 3-hour line.
All right. So, Paul, I have a question for you.
I'm ready.
So does the Haunted Mansion appeal to you more than any other ride because of the smoke and mirrors that it uses in the attraction?
I know how it worked. Yes. I mean, the fascinating thing, there was a magician who was a member of the Magic Castle that I work at called William Gracie that designed the phantasms there in the ballroom. What's interesting is he came up with that design, which is that effect, which is called the Pepper's Ghost effect. But it had already existed for hundreds of years, and yet he recreated it on his own as Disney Imagineer. My whole life had heard about the Hatbox Ghost and what a failure that magic trick was. Oh, there he is! And just recently they finally reinstated it, so I'm delighted because he was in the original iteration and then taken away. But yes, the all of the illusions in that ride speak to me in a very powerful way, and also I love the voice of Tony the Tiger and the Grinch in there. Who
Corey Burton?
Thurl Ravenscroft.
Oh, I'm thinking Corey's the narrator. That's right.
Right.
Thurl Ravenscroft, who's one of the heads in the graveyard for the "So don't close your eyes and don't try to hide," there, and so he's great. They're great, and you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch, that guy, and so it's I love that ride. It speaks to me. I'm also, my bachelor's degree was in anthropology, so there's also that in Indiana Jones. I just can't.
Oh yeah.
See, I really wish we could get a really cool overlay for Indiana Jones for Halloween. I think they could do
that'd be
something
so
cool with it.
What would you add? It's already got snakes and spiders and like every skeleton. It's already creepy.
I don't know. I'm thinking they could do something with it though.
Purses, like I'm sure I wouldn't mind it. I love the holiday overlays just in general. Like I love the Space Mountain one. You've got the Haunted Mansion. Yeah, I mean, there's some really great overlays that they do for Halloween and some great ones for Christmas. And so I'm all for it. Anytime they can add a good theme to the ride for a special time. And of course, they love it because that drives ticket sales. And let's be honest, Disney likes ticket sales. And I don't.
You know what they need to do, though, Jake?
Tell me.
They need to have a Halloween overlay for It's a Small World.
Yes. No, guys, hear me out. So
okay. All right.
If any of the listeners have read these books, there's a book series called Kingdom Keepers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Spoiler alert. In Kingdom Keepers, It's a Small World comes to life, and the dolls start attacking the main kids in the story, and they're on fire. They're beating the tar out of them, and it's just broken dolls.
Universal Creative at Universal Studios, they can do this.
Yeah,
not ready to take
this. Is much more of a Universal attraction.
It's not super Disney friendly, but it'd be awesome.
I agree. It would be terrifying. There's just something creepy about those little dolls, generally speaking.
Okay, well, something going back to the mansion, and I know I don't want to hang on the mansion the entire time, but the ballroom, the ballroom with the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. The interesting thing every year is the gingerbread house.
And it's real gingerbread.
Yeah, and that's my wife's favorite thing. As soon as we hit that ballroom scene coming through and they're pumping out that gingerbread smell, and we die every time.
Mm-hmm.
You must be allergic to cinnamon if you die every time.
So happy I could die.
It's the right place. They've got room for one more. So.
Yeah. Hurry back.
All right. So have you guys? So actually, Jake, you were just there last year. I think you might have went the week before me and my family were there, if I remember right.
Yeah. So we were there. Yeah, in the first week in March was the last time we were there.
Okay. No. So you were there after us a little bit. Okay.
I'm going to add him. We've got John here. I'm going to add him into the chat. John, how's it going?
I finally just came outside.
No worries. Good to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're talking Haunted Mansion.
We're talking Haunted Mansion, yeah.
If you were there in March, this is my Happy St. Patrick's Day 2020 Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Which is glorious because Disney closed down the day before St. Patrick's Day 2020.
The one thing that I'm kicking myself for the most is that we were there in March of this year, and I should have bought everything that said Disneyland 2020 on it because it would be a collector's item.
Here's the Mulan ears from March 2020.
Yeah,
supposed to open.
It's funny, man. We were there. That's cool. We were there March 7th. Of 2020, and there were two people walking around with masks on, and we were like, "Ha ha ha! Look, they're wearing masks!" Ha 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 ha!
Yeah, I was there that week. So the week before, so we were there March 2nd, 3rd, 4th, in that range there. And everything was normal. Everything was totally fine. Nobody was even talking about the parks closing. And then the next week they announced the parks were going to close. And I was it was perfect timing for our family. I'm glad we went when we did.
John's almost got a Haunted Mansion behind him.
Yeah, I used the Devereaux Mansion as a background.
I like it.
Kind of a spooky. So we did something. I can't decide if this is foolish or not. We decided to book a trip to Disney World the last week of October.
Nice.
At least get a little bit of the feeling.
I'm hoping to go in January.
They're still decorating. You're still going to have, your decorations and everything. Just Mickey's Not So Spooky Halloween Party, which I'm gutted because next week
Right.
would have been the week that me and my family would have been going to Disney.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I'm just gutted not having my Halloween party. And speaking about the Halloween party, have any of you guys got to experience the Oogie Boogie Bash in DCA?
So I
have
did
not.
Oogie Boogie Bash Halloween night last year. Yes.
Wow.
So, question: do you prefer? So, have you been to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party as well?
Yes.
Which do you prefer? Or do you have a favorite?
You know, both of them, you get endless amounts of candy, right? Both of them, they have the characters, like I showed, they have the characters in the traditional costumes. The Oogie Boogie Bash, what's neat is they bring out characters that aren't normally in the parks. And so they bring back the Blue Fairy, or they bring back the King from Robin Hood, or they bring in, and then they have live interactions with the villains from Princess and the Frog, and from Mad Hatter is there, and you have these sort of live interactions with endless amounts of candy for everyone. So, and there's a spooky maze through the trails and things, the haunted house experience. So I found Oogie Boogie to be a more grown-up experience than the Not So Scary Halloween. So Not So Scary Halloween, I think, is better for little ones, and Oogie Boogie is better for high school on up.
Okay.
See, and Val's bringing it up in the comments that when she went, it was still at California Adventure. It wasn't crowded. That was probably, I prefer Oogie Boogie Bash over Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. One, I feel that the treat trails are spread out. You're not elbow to elbow with everybody. You have a lot more room to kind of move around. The character interactions I felt were 10 times better than what I was getting in Disneyland. Over in the animation station in DCA, you actually get to stand right like 5-6 feet away from Boogie himself. That's up with his blade saw wheel. Yeah. The character interactions, they have so many shows. We didn't even get to hit them all because we were just trying to bounce around to everything.
And they have special events for annual pass holders, and they have special experiences for Disney. If you have a Disney debit card, there are different experiences where you get extra bonuses and treats and things. But you can go to Oogie Boogie, and because they limit the number of people that can play, you can walk out with 2 backpacks full of candy and good, Hershey.
Oh, we did.
Oh yeah.
I'm serious. It was yeah.
The first Halloween party we went to was the first year they brought it back to Disneyland, and it was kind of like one of those things where it was like nobody really knew what it was. Everybody had kind of done the DCA one before, and so it was empty. There were 15,000 people in the entire park.
Oh,
and so it was, so and every year we go back, and it's like, oh man, this kind of sucks because we keep comparing it to that first year.
right.
And we literally we had to run into the Emporium on Main Street and buy a backpack because we got so much candy. We had to buy a bag.
They sell so many backpacks on Oogie Boogie. You can have all the candy you want. Here's your free little plastic bag. You can buy backpacks
and go back in.
little backpacks like this for $120. You need a $120 backpack to go get $25 worth of chocolate.
They'll do that all day, every day.
Now they're starting to sell actual larger trick or treat bags. I think they're like $20, $25 a pop. I guarantee you those are just flying out the window because they give you a small little bag for the Halloween parties, but it's like we were taking those bags and dumping them into our backpacks as we were trying to make it through the park. So I'm pretty sure we all have the same close answers here, but between Disney World, Disney California Adventure, Disneyland, what are your guys' favorite haunts for this time of the year? Jake was mentioning that they do a few different overlays. There are different areas that are themed. What are some of your favorite haunts?
This will be my first time going to Disney World at Halloween, so I'm kind of curious to see. I wasn't sure what they did in Florida, But you got to go with Nightmare Before Christmas on the mansion overlay. I mean, that's almost as classic as the original mansion anymore.
Do we know if they do that in Florida?
They don't.
No.
That's the thing. They don't.
Now you can still go on the Carousel of Progress in Florida, but you cannot. There's a great big beautiful tomorrow. Look at how amazing 1980 will be. But you cannot. But they don't have the same overlays. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never been to Walt Disney World at Halloween. I've been at
you can go
in January a couple times. Yes, Figment.
Yep.
This is Adrian Rupp's Figment. This is Utah artist Adrian Rupp's Figment. I love it. He sold it.
I love Adrian's work.
Yeah, I think his stuff is so joyful. I think it's so what? Right? He's so happy. But there are lots of wonderful things at Florida's parks, but the original Disney, I mean, go to the psychic shop on Main Street with that psychic sign. Go to the magic shop there on Main Street has some neat overlays. I just really like the classic Disneyland at Halloween time. But that's just my love. OogieBoogie has a parade too. That's another big thing that's really neat. They have a really kind of spooky zombie-filled parade. Oh no,
we lost John.
Hopefully he'll pop back on. I know he's having connection issues. For me, I'm a sucker for the fireworks. I absolutely love Disney fireworks over just about anything else. I love Fantasmic, and I know they don't do anything different for Halloween, but it just fits so well. And it's much better at Disneyland than at Disney World. Fantasmic at Disney World didn't get me as much.
Now, Tracy, you need to when it comes back, you need to see the Villainous show.
Yeah.
At OogieBoogie's Bash. You lights, fire, everything. It's wow.
But nobody has the music of original Disney Fantasmic that constantly feels like it's growing and growing, but it's not going anywhere. Bum ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, bum ba-da-da-da-da, bum ba-da-da-dum, bum ba-da-da-da-da, bum ba-da-da-da. It feels like it's about to.
And you're just literally waiting for it, and it just keeps going. Yeah, I would agree with what John's saying earlier. The Nightmare Before Christmas, and not just the overlay inside the mansion, but everything they do outside the mansion, and how much they bring in all the details from the film. And I like the moments when you are in Disneyland where you feel like you're walking into the theme, you're walking into whatever the intellectual property is that you're going into, and I just love feeling immersed in it, and I feel like you get that with Nightmare Before Christmas at Haunted Mansion.
Oh yeah, you get the list of the naughty boys and girls down the front of the mansion, the trick or treaters, lock, stock, and barrel up on the roof.
And those names change both there and in Small World to reflect the popular names.
I was so excited when they had Tracy on there once.
Was it on the naughty boy or the naughty girl side?
Gosh, it doesn't matter. The name was there. That's payback for the Small World Halloween, huh?
That's right. I'll have that nightmare in my head tonight, so thank you.
Val says that she loves the villain area in Disneyland. Meeting villains you don't usually get to meet. Yes. Shadow Man. Yeah, I'm with there. The last time I was there, they brought out Cruella. They had a full Maleficent. They had, I can't even remember some of them, but they had Hades. They had some good stuff.
Yep. And you don't typically see them. Otherwise,
Hades is coming out a lot more too. So that's over in DCA at Oogie's Bash. We have Hades, Maleficent, the Evil Queen, Shan Yu, Frollo. Who's the bad guy off of Pocahontas? I can't ever remember his name.
John Smith.
No. This was the good guy in that movie. Not in reality. In the movie, it's William Brewster.
Yeah. Anyways, it's not John Smith. Tracy, he's the good guy in the movie. Come on.
Yes, Mel Gibson. He's a good guy. I'll remember.
Huge. I was just going to go there, Paul. The bad guy.
Two that they brought out to DCA for the Halloween for Oogie's Bash is I'm a big Kingdom Hearts guy. You had Kingdom Hearts Donald and Goofy also fun to swaps that were.
Which you never see that otherwise.
Oh yeah.
And it just amazes me, these costumes that they have that you never see and they only pull out for like a few days a year. And maybe it's not just a few days a year, but we only go there for a few days a year, right? I mean, it's amazing the variety that they have.
I think some of the villains, literally, that is the only time they bring these guys out is for these events. Yeah.
It's the only time you get to see them. I keep trying to pay for the raffle tickets. Do I need to pay for them before the end of our talk?
Yes.
No, dang it. Okay. I mean,
all right, tight.
You still got like 25 minutes. You're good.
So Valerie's asking if they do. Yeah. Unfortunately, no. But there has been rumors of it for a while. They do something kind of with Wine and Dine at Walt Disney World. What's that, Paul?
What was your question?
Do they do themed runs? I had done a bunch of their half marathons. And right now it's unfortunate when Disneyland was doing a big amount of their refurb where they were very much revamping California Adventure and they were getting ready for Galaxy's Edge. They stopped doing runs in California and hopefully they'll open them back up in the future. But for Wine and Dine this year down at Walt Disney World, they're doing a villains themed run for the very first time. So
there's a run that you can run to every food booth in DCA for Halloween. They literally give you a map that says run here for this food, this food, this food. I mean, I'll do that kind of run. I might be
Again, it's only walk fast. You can't run in Disneyland. That's the rule, Ty. You can't run in Disneyland.
I have. And it was allowed.
You're a bad kid.
They encourage it. No, we do it before the park opens. Val said I would run for food. Me too.
Food. Yeah, that's literally both California Adventure and Disneyland on your map. There's a special little side that has all the list of the new holiday food that you can just hit every point and go try it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like I said last year with it being Haunted Mansion's 50th, you had an extra dozen lines of stuff that you could go try.
I'm so bummed I missed that.
It was a good year. And after, so they did a major party for the Haunted Mansion in August because that was the technical release date. And I've watched countless videos and streaming on it and whatnot. It was amazing. And lucky they were still selling the merch afterwards. And last year was the year for your Haunted Mansion stuff.
You know, and it's interesting too. I was at Disney Paris 2 years ago in late September, and they were just starting to put in the Halloween overlays. And they don't do as big of a deal in France as they do in the American parks, but it was still fun to see the jack-o'-lanterns in the windows up and down Main Street. The characters wearing their scary costumes. They didn't do any of the overlays on the rides. But when you have a Space Mountain that does a loop-de-loop, you don't need an overlay.
See, Tracy, and if you would have hung around long enough, you could have heard Peter Vincent be your ghost host.
Yeah.
Because that's what they just barely added back into the attraction, right? Was Peter Vincent as the ghost host. That's another reason why I have to make it to Disneyland Paris.
You have to see it.
It's seriously, there's two things on my list, and one of them just got erased because it's coming to the States. One was to go to Disneyland Shanghai and ride the Tron roller coaster. I don't have to go to Shanghai anymore. It's coming to Disney World. The other thing is to make it to Phantom Manor.
I was so bummed it was closed for refurb. That was the thing I wanted to do more than anything else.
Yep. Phantom Manor is on the list. So I'm probably talking for me and Paul. It sounds like, have you guys done multiple trips during Halloween to the park? Have you been there multiple times?
Yes.
No, Jake, we're going to work on that.
All right. Not this year, probably. I wish, but
next October.
I think we need to have a Stroll and Droids panel live from Disneyland next year.
Yeah.
Right? I've been I've been multiple times, not in the same year for Halloween. We usually go for like 3 to 4 days, and I'll hit each park a couple of times at least. But I'll usually hit it. I try and hit it either Halloween or Christmas, one of the two for sure.
I want to talk to you guys. So I want to hear some of your best just Halloween experiences at Disneyland, Disney World, anywhere from the parks.
I've got a killer one.
I'll hear it.
So we're in Disneyland. It is like, I think it's late August, early September. So it's not quite Halloween. And California is having a heat wave. It's like 103 degrees in the park. It is humid. It's just miserable. And I look over, we're over at the Cafe Orleans, and there's this little girl who she's probably like 5 or 6.
This is one of my favorites. One of my favorite stories.
She is dressed up like Maleficent, and it's the heavy velvet costume, velvet horns, the velvet coat, and she is just having a blast. So I'm kind of watching her for a minute. And then this other little girl who's about 5 or 6 goes walking past her. And that little girl had just gone to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. So she was her hair was done. She was in her princess dress. And Maleficent from across the way goes, "Hey, princess, I'm watching you. I'm watching you," and freaked this little girl out. And then the Maleficent lets out this cackle. And I'm like, oh my God, it was so great. So I asked the family, I'm like, "Can I take a picture of your daughter to remember this?" They're like, "Oh yeah." So they're like, "He wants a picture." She just does this pose. She puts her hand on her hips and gives me all the attitude. Oh my gosh, it was so great.
So the two things last year they had, welcome back. Last year they had
got something really quick. I just got to pimp some raffle prizes here really quick. We got a little bit of time left. We've already gotten about $300 in this panel alone.
Awesome.
So thank you guys so much for your donations. You're amazing. Let me just show you these quick prizes. Let me entice you just a little bit.
Just a little sample.
Just a little sample. First off, we have this iPhone Boogie Glow in the Dark t-shirt that's a large size, and a homemade Jack Skeleton mask that was actually made by Jake's wife.
That's true.
She's super talented.
Thank you so much. 5 Little Monsters is her Instagram handle. Amazing prizes. And then we have one more set of prizes, which is this Doctor Strange print by Creative Mechanics. This awesome dad hat from Quarters SLC. They're an amazing bar / arcade. Super, super cool. And a $5 gift card from Hey Twisted Sugar. So please get your donations in now. You can watch the scroll bar at the bottom and get those. So I'm going to get out of your guys' way, but thank you guys so much.
All right. Now I want to hear the rest of Paul's story.
Yes. So my first one is this last October, they had magicians in the Golden Horseshoe. And so one of my favorite joys there was getting to see my other fellow magicians. I saw John Armstrong. I saw Gregory Wilson, who was phenomenal. But my favorite was Johnny Ace Palmer. Johnny Ace Palmer is one of the greatest magicians in the world, and he just had these children that were literally hitting themselves. They were so joyful over what they were watching him do. In October of last year, and it was amazing. And that's when I first started reaching out about doing magic shows full time in the park. And so it was really a transition moment for me in my life and career. Was started performing at Disney because of that. But then the other one was my dear sweet partner. She found out that you cannot wear a costume to Disneyland unless you're a child. And she is not a child. She was on one of the panels a few days ago talking about Captain America, and she found out that she fit the largest size child costume. and they sold her the largest size child costume, and she went into a bathroom and changed, and no one called her on it. They
Good for her.
must be 12. Oh God!
What was the costume, Paul?
She bought several. Could get away with it, and then she wore a costume. Suddenly, she had to get the largest size children's costume, but she was able to make it work.
Good for her.
Awesome.
So she had a lot of fun at last year's OogieBoogie and Halloween wearing costumes at Disneyland.
Oh my gosh! I did see that this year they're allowing it in Walt Disney World.
You could do it at OogieBoogie's Bash, but you could not wear any makeup or face masks of any kind. So you can have stuff from like the neck down. So I was a pretty damper goofy last year.
Good.
I was just Disney bounding.
You can Disney bound.
Yeah.
Disney bounding is like the big hot trend. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I had like an outfit for every day.
But I just don't know how many people get to wear a full pirate costume
That is
on
great.
Pirate Island.
That's incredible.
I love it. Go London. That is a great story.
I think it's fascinating that Disneyland that they built it to have Fantasyland, Adventureland, Tomorrowland, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Hey, New Orleans has all my favorite stuff in it. So
there isn't a Utah land. I mean,
yeah, there is. You ever been on Big Thunder Mountain? Has the dinosaur bones and everything. We're totally
I
represented.
just want to know why they don't have more ice cream there. That's the real question. Ice cream. That's like third base in Utah. You're going to the temple now.
So remind me. So you have not been there for a Halloween, but you did get to see the Haunted Mansion?
Oh no! I go every year at Halloween.
Oh no, Jake. I was
there at Halloween time last year. Yeah.
So give us a Halloween memory, man. I want to hear it. We've got some good stuff going.
I mean, the biggest memory was seeing Haunted Mansion, but the other thing that was just really memorable from that trip was my first time going to Galaxy's Edge, which was just mind-blowing for me as a Star Wars fan and just so incredible. And really, I mean, Halloween, dressing up and kind of living that fantasy life for a night fit perfectly with Galaxy's Edge because you are transported to a galaxy far, far away. But other than that, Halloween related was just walking down Main Street, seeing the giant jack-o'-lantern, seeing everything decorated. And it's like, okay, this is amazing any time of the year, but just extra special this time of year. So
did you buy a Jedi robe and sneak into the bathroom?
I thought about it, but I don't think people are going to think I'm 12 at all.
Here's the thing though. Jedi robes, are you going to get busted if you go put on your Jedi robe that you bought right there in too? You will?
Yeah, and especially I think in Galaxy's Edge because they have so many different costume pieces there that you can buy. Yeah. They're pretty strict on it.
I'd be the one guy to do it.
And you can go to Disneyland jail. It'll be fun.
Go to Disney jail.
I think it must be so fun to take your little ones and to see Disney at Halloween or at Christmas through the eyes of your children. I think that's probably that's got to be a great memory for you.
Are you asking me or Ty? I hope Ty. I was there by myself.
No, you, Jake.
No, I was there by myself, man. I was there for work.
Oh, that's right. You took the kids in March. That's right.
Yeah, we went in March with the kids.
I'm
amazing in March, but
I must admit I miss in Critter Country. They used to have Joe Yakovetic do pumpkin carving.
Yes.
I miss Joe Yakovetic used to do that there, and he I miss that. I thought that was so wonderful.
Yeah, I loved going over to the what was the ranch called? Big Thunder Ranch.
Yeah, Big Thunder Ranch.
I've seen all the hand-carved pumpkins there. They did some incredible stuff. Yeah.
And this was Alice's first time going, my daughter. It was her first time during Halloween. So that's I I think when we go back, she's gonna be like, "Well, where's Jack? Where's the pumpkins? Like, come on." But I just wanted to cover my favorite thing real quick, and then we can dive into any last minute stuff. This was when I'm trying to think. Before I'd gone with my wife and my kid, this was a family trip, and it was the week that Frankenweenie had come out. We were doing Halloween Disney, and we'll talk about the story again when you guys listen to our Frankenweenie episode on the show. But we had already done our night in Disneyland when the Halloween party was there. Went over to DCA the next day, and over in the animation station, they had sets, characters, renderings, everything from the actual set of Frankenweenie. You had all the actual puppets and everything inside there. And then all the giant screens had like the drawings and behind the scenes stuff going on. And I remember we all loved it, but especially me and my sister, Sydney, we were just like on the glass of this stuff. Like, oh my gosh.
You're like, I'm never leaving.
Exactly. And like I said, this was opening week for the film. And DCA closed at like 6:00. And so we're sitting here like, well, can't go into Disneyland because it's closed for the Halloween party that night. And so it's like, what do we do? And I kind of went out on a limb. And this is when Downtown Disney still had its theater. I was like, hey, Dad, do you feel like spending some extra money and taking us to a movie while we're at Disney? Yeah. And he went for it. We went and saw Frankenweenie at that theater that night. And so that was probably one of my biggest highlighted Disney Halloween memories, is being able to go and see the actual puppets, scenes, and all that stuff from that movie, and then going and seeing it that night was just, it was something else.
That's cool. That's a great story.
The place where you can have that experience more often when things open up is at the Disney-owned theater in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard. They have the big Disney movies. They do a pre-show beforehand, often magic shows, so the characters are there. They have props from the movies down in the basement, the actual props, and you can see the props, have themed food attached to Ghirardelli's, and it's a great experience.
The giant organ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's really cool. That's a great story. They cut all that out. Here's the truth, the backstory on all that. They took out the ESPN zone, and they took out the movie theater, and they took out Rainforest Cafe, because they were going to put in a gigantic resort, giant hotel there, resort. And they dug it all up underground, cut all the wires, relayed the cement, kicked out all those people, pulled all the guts out of all those buildings, and then Anaheim said, you can't build that building. They changed it. And so now all those buildings are sitting empty without air conditioning or power. Yeah. So,
oh my goodness.
Wow.
So it's going to be a big change to see. They're making big changes, now, of course, that what that is going to become is going to be exciting.
Yeah, for sure. Real quick, Jake, can you put Val's comment up on the screen? I think this is fantastic. She had a Halloween memory. She took her daughter Sammy as a surprise for her 8th birthday. And I love it when characters interact like kids with kids like this. I think it's so much fun to see.
Yeah, that's cool. When we were there in March, speaking of characters interacting, Honest John, who you never see in the, I had never seen him before. And he was out, and we were right by the Pinocchio ride, and he came over to my 4-year-old son and grabbed his hand and started walking off with him. And my son's like, yeah, this is great. This is fun. I'm with a cartoon character. And I don't know how far he would have gone, because we kind of just stood there and oh, this is fun. And he further and further away. So I kind of hit the limit of my comfort. I was like, okay, let's bring it back now. I have no idea where to take him. I mean, obviously it's Disney and things like that are just fun, but he was all for it. He's like, yeah, this looks great. I'm like, well, I've got to. He's like, it's a little bit more about stranger danger.
Later, Dad, I'm going to go enjoy the park. See you guys.
Yeah.
I get a VIP treatment. You peasants are going to sit in line. Oh my goodness. This has been such a fun panel to talk about.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be in Walt Disney World in January, so fingers crossed. I'd love to see. There's rumors that California might be open end of October, 1st of November. So hopefully.
Now, did you need me to come as your +1? I can't remember. Was that the plan, Tracy?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to go as the
As long as
+1,
you
and then
fit in the
I'm going
suitcase.
to go as the extra luggage bag.
That's right.
Perfect.
Yes. All right, guys. So the final total from this panel, we raised about $320.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Thank you guys so much. That is so huge.
Thank you.
For our raffle winners,
Drum roll.
we have. Let me bring up the prizes for each of these.
Oh, I was early on the drum roll. I'm sorry. That's my
I
bad.
called it. It was my fault.
I'm so sorry. All right, go ahead and give us a drum roll now. Wow, come on. All right, we have Jenny Ray Reynolds.
Woo!
So Jenny Ray, if you would like to claim these, please message us. We will try to reach you as well. And then
Yay.
for second prize, this lovely Doctor Strange fan art, the Quarters SLC hat, and the Twisted Sugar $5 gift card. It goes to, drum roll, please.
Paul Draper.
Oh, drum rolls are just weak, guys. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Harley from Cutscene Cupcakes.
Hey.
So thank you guys so much for your donations.
This panel raised like 15% of all the donations for the entire time so far.
That's because Disney
I
fans
know.
are the best.
Isn't that sweet?
Hey, that's all the
awesome.
people.
Great job.
It's
listening.
not bad at all. So please
Oh,
remember to
thanks,
continue
Michael.
to donate. We have more prizes for the rest of our two panels tonight. For our two panels, we have one dedicated to pure comic books. So please watch that. And then following that one, it is Batman Forever with It's the Shit Show podcast. So please come and watch those two panels. Give us your support. Thank you guys so much for being on this panel. We
Remember,
really appreciate it.
49 days to Halloween.
49 days.
49 days.
So close.
It was like watching friends chat over a campfire. Oh, you guys are the best friends. Good
That's
campfire
cool.
like that.
That's a
This was
great
good-
comment. I like that.
panel.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll get on to the next panel here.
All right. Enjoy your night. Thanks.